Welcome. In front of me is a NOKIA X20, and today I will go over unboxing along with a quick overview of this phone. So anyway, without further ado, let's just pop it open. There we go. And there we go. So inside we get obviously straight away the phone. Go. So, and here we get our SIM eject tool, so we just peel that off. Below that we have paperwork and a nice inclusion of a case for the device. See that? Now the case looks a little bit different, so you can kind of see. I don't know if this is supposed to be some like compositable. Okay, so it's nice. Anyway, and in here we will get our, I guess, only our charger or our cable. Yep, just a cable. So you can see there's our cable, and that's about it. So let me put that back in here and get rid of the box. Now let's move over to the phone. So let's pop it open. Now I have to say they don't have the best way of packing the devices, so okay, I'm just gonna pop it like this. It looks like the phone already comes with the little screen protector already pre-applied, though it's a little crooked and it would trigger the living crap out of me. So it's a little bit to the right, too much. Anyway, let's turn it on. So right away you're looking at a 6.67 inch display. This is a 1080p by 2400 pixels display. It's an IPS LCD with a typical brightness of 450 nits. And when it comes down to the actual screen to body ratio, we're looking at a couple decibels over or below the 80%. Now obviously you can see that we have a huge chin, so that one takes away from it. And in terms of screen density, we're looking at 395 pixels per inch. So the screen itself is okay. It's nothing mind-blowing. There's no high refresh rate to it and nothing extra. So a little bit of a shame, but still, I guess it is what it is. Just quickly go through the setup. Now outside of the display, we have a quad camera setup at the back, which I will move just in a second once I finish up the setup. So if I flip it over once I'm done, come on, there we go. You will see the quad camera setup, there it is, and that Zeiss on there is not really giving you much, because technically we're only looking at a 64 megapixel wide sensor. That's the only sensor that you will probably be using. Rest of them are just a sticker cameras: 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, and 2 megapixel depth sensor. They are completely useless, and under no circumstances I would recommend using them. Ultra wide might be useful rarely, but you might actually get some use out of it, though at 5 megapixels the pictures might come out a little bit more underwhelming. So I still wouldn't probably recommend if you're looking for a bit more detailed photos. The 64 should be fine. Anything below that is just a sticker camera basically. And at the front and that hole punched camera, we have a 32 megapixel wide sensor, which probably would have been suited better to add some better camera at the back rather than a selfie at the front. And outside of that, in terms of the internals right here, we have a couple different versions. So we have a 128 gigabyte storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM or 8 gigabytes of RAM. Both can be expanded via the SD card if you want to do so. So there we go. Honestly, I don't think going for anything over 8 gigs or over 6 gigs is necessary here. So 6 should be enough for everybody, and obviously you don't have much storage choices right here, so if you need more, you just slap in a card and that's it. And with those different storages and RAMs, we have a included Snapdragon 480 5G. So just like a mid-range chipset, it should perform fairly well at doing most of the tasks. I don't expect anything extra from it, to be honest. And when it comes down to battery in here, even though this is a chunky phone, because it is a little bit on the bigger side, it only has a 4470 mAh battery. So the phone is a little bit chunky, but it doesn't really have like a massive battery cell in here, which is a shame. And with that battery, we have a fast charging, though quotation mark around the fast, because it's only at 18 watts. So again, for a phone released, what is it, this year? Yep. No, actually no, it was April 8th of 2021, so last year. But still, for a phone released last year, 18 watts is a little bit on the lower side, considering my phone that I use as my private phone. It's like, what, 3-year-old now, the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, and that one came with like a 30-watt charger back in the day. So 18 seems a little bit dated, even for a budget device of this year. So there we go. There's not much more to say about the phone. It runs a stock Android, or basically as stock as they want to add in here. And as you've probably seen on the box, if I get that back in here, we have a 3-year Android upgrade. So whatever Android comes over the next 3 years, you will have in this phone. So with that in mind, we should be running right here, what is it, Android 11 right now? Or is it 12 already? Let's see, about phone, and we are running Android 11 right now. I assume Android 12 isn't accessible just yet to all the devices apart from the Googles or Pixels, I mean. So once that's accessible to everybody else, this phone should get upgrade to it as well. And hopefully it will also catch up to the Android 13 once that comes out. So yeah, there we go. Couple more mentions right here, just to put that out there. We do have a headphone jack in here, so you can plug in your wired headphones. We have charging port and fingerprint sensor on the side, on the power key. And let's see, one last thing that I would consider important. Does it come with NFC? Let's see that. And it looks like it does not, unfortunately. See, maybe it's hidden. Hotspot. Nope, so no NFC. Which again is a little bit of a bummer, considering I personally do pay with my phone quite a lot, or all the time, so not having that feature in a phone would be a bummer. And last things last comes the price tag of $360. So I can't say that I hate this phone. I can't say that I like this phone. I like the case, but for $360 you can get way better phones out there. Now the benefit right here is probably going to be most likely in the fact that this is running a semi-stock Android and has the actual upgrade potential to like Android possibly 13 when that will be announced, or once it comes out. I have no idea. It's not even I haven't seen any rumors, but it still has 3-year upgrades, so it should technically catch to it. And so that is probably the key selling points. And other than that, the phone is a little bit more bare bones than I would like it. So what I would recommend you, if you're not really like super invested and want to have like the newest Android and all that stuff, probably going for a older flagship will be better, which is something that I've been saying right now in almost every video. Budget phones right now I don't think are worth buying, basically any of them, considering you can buy an older flagship phone like a Samsung S8 or S7, which will perform really well even now and have some better tech in them, like wireless charging and all that stuff, under display fingerprint sensor. So those are nice features with obviously better display. One thing that I would consider maybe, if the device would have a high refresh rate, like 90 or 120, something that the old flagships will not have, but this one also has 60, so it doesn't really stand out above them either. The only thing that it stands out above is the price. This phone isn't worth 360 bucks by any means. I've seen other phones from even Samsung, like the M23 right here, that is cheaper. Even though it's a Samsung, it comes at around 300 bucks instead of 360, and it's a Samsung. So I think if I'm gonna be picking, I'm gonna pick this one, and even that, I would prefer to go with an older Samsung phone, like I said, a flagship one from a couple years back. One thing that I'll also point out, a phone like this one, which is already dated, like 3-year-old phone, the Mate 20 Pro from Huawei. Whatever you think about Huawei, at least at this point, because it doesn't have Google Play services and stuff like that, this one, along with the P30, are really cheap devices right now that you can get for about 200 bucks, which come with Play services still. The P30 and Mate 20 Pro are the last phones from Huawei that did have Play services, and they work amazingly, and they have some decent tech in them, like wireless chargings, decent battery life, under display fingerprint sensor, a really good camera setup. So there we go. That's probably one of the reasons why I would recommend going for an older flagship like this one. I mean, let's be honest, it costs as much as a budget phone and performs way better than any budget device out here. And at 360, I don't think this is already a budget device. I think this is approaching more to a mid-range phone, and it fails at a budget side. So there we go. That being said, I don't think I would recommend this device to a lot of people. I do recommend going for an older flagship instead, which, like I said, is probably gonna be the case from now on for a lot of budget devices. So yeah, that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.